Hey everyone, this is the Red Dose of Truth here. First thing we're going to do today is we're going to go over a couple of articles dealing with big tech. The very first being an article by the Epoch Times written by Mark Tapscott. Cruz Hawley asked FTC to examine big tech's censoring of content and to make results public. Senators Ted Cruz and Josh Hawley want the Federal Trade Commission to investigate how major tech companies curate content and make public what the agency finds that's in the public interest. Big tech companies like Google, Facebook, and Twitter exercise enormous influence on speech. The vast majority of internet traffic flows through just a handful of these companies, the senators said in a letter to all 5 FTC commissioners on July 15th. They control the ads we see, the news we read, and the information we digest. And they actively censor some content and amplify other content based on algorithms and intentional decisions that are completely non-transparent, Cruz and Hawley wrote. Never before in this country have so few people controlled so much speech. Cruz and Hawley said the FTC doesn't require a law enforcement purpose to begin such an investigation because it already has the authority to review the big tech firms' conduct and practices. Possibilities for abuse in this area are alarming and endless. Apart from more salient examples of censorship like account suspensions, nobody knows who or what these companies censor or amplify, the senators told the FTC commissioners. Most content curation occurs in ways impossible for outsiders to detect. Some content is downgraded. The content appears in fewer recommendations, lower on search pages, and less often in news feeds. Other content is amplified through the same means, the senators wrote. Cruz and Hawley worry that much unaccountable power to shape what most Americans read and hear on the internet makes firms such as Google, Twitter, and Facebook powerful enough to at the very least sway elections, and we're told we have to be satisfied simply with trusting them not to abuse the immense power. In addition, the senator said that companies that are this big and that have the potential to threaten democracy this much should not be allowed to curate content entirely without any transparency. These companies can greatly influence democratic outcomes, yet they have no accountability to voters. They are not even accountable to their own customers because nobody knows how these companies curate content. The senator's letter comes at a time when public concern is growing about the censorship powers of big tech. Conservative commentator Deneen Borelli's highly successful Here's the Deal show on Facebook was canceled when its viewership suddenly and inexplicably plummeted. Because of Facebook's anti-conservative bias, this will be my last episode for Blaze TV, Borelli told viewers July 9th. Borelli's final episode received more than 17,000 likes and comments from 4,800 individuals. She said the decline in audience began shortly after she spoke in February at CPAC. It's obvious Facebook is a liberal platform, and my first thought was that it was the company that was trying to silence my speech, Borelli told the Daily Caller News Foundation on July 15th. I am a prominent female black conservative. The left does not want my message to get out and resonate, especially with black voters who may be open-minded to hearing what I have to say, or women who may be open to what I have to say, Borelli said. President Donald Trump convened a social media summit meeting at the White House on July 11th. Attended by dozens of conservative journalists, bloggers, and tech entrepreneurs who claim to have been victims of big tech censorship. Trump told the summit attendees that he has directed all federal agencies to examine all regulatory and legislative solutions to protect free speech. Hawley especially has made going after big tech censorship and other abuses a signature issue for his first term in the Senate. Prior to being elected to the Senate in 2018, Hawley was Missouri's Attorney General. Since coming to Washington, Hawley has also introduced legislation to force big tech firms to make public how they monetize data about their users. Another Hawley bill introduced earlier this year ends the digital giants' immunity to publish liability unless they submit proof their algorithms and content removal policies are politically neutral. So whether or not this will help in censorship and those people who've been getting demonetized on YouTube, shadow banned on Twitter, or all out banned on all 3 platforms is yet to remain seen. The issue about this bill that Hawley introduced, it wouldn't be hard for Google to hide their algorithms. We know for a fact that conservatives are being censored. Into my next article by Fox News is Ron Blitzer. Trump suggests Doodle could be investigated for treason. Billionaire tech industry icon Peter Thiel wants Doodle investigated for seemingly treasonous work with China, and President Trump is listening. The PayPal co-founder appeared on Fox News' Tucker Carlson Tonight on Monday and called out Doodle for working with the Chinese government on a major artificial intelligence project instead of the United States. Thiel had recently discussed the issue at the National Conservative Conference in Washington, D.C. The question is, what in the world is going on there? Thiel asked. Trump cited Thiel's comments in a Tuesday morning tweet and said the Trump administration will take a look. What exactly that means is unclear. The Justice Department declined to comment on the apparent suggestion the company could be investigated. Asked for a response, a Doodle representative said, "As we have said before, we do not work with the Chinese military." Thiel had expressed concern over Doodle's partnership with China's government. He said that after Doodle announced they were working on the Manhattan Project of artificial intelligence, foreign intelligence naturally would have been drawn to it. Additionally, given China's history of espionage against the United States and concerns that China had already infiltrated Doodle, Thiel questioned whether Doodle was essentially pressured to work with China. They have to, because if they don't give it to them through the front door, it'll get stolen through the back door, Thiel said. Doodle has faced criticism over its work on a censored search engine, codenamed Project Dragonfly, that would allow it to return to China after leaving in 2010 over human rights concerns. The company dropped the project after members of the company's privacy team raised complaints. Thiel said he has 3 questions that he would ask Doodle's CEO Sundar Pichai about the current project. How many foreign intelligence agencies have infiltrated Doodle? Have the Chinese in particular infiltrated? And why are you working with Communist China and not the United States? Thiel said that the FBI and CIA could investigate this and find out the answers. As far as this right here, Project Dragonfly, supposedly it was scrapped in December, I believe, but as early as March, we've got Doodle insiders saying that Doodle's still working on it. So whether or not Doodle's working with China or not working with China, it's pretty obvious that they are. They never stopped. And it would be really great to see Trump follow through on this tweet right here, because I feel like it needs to happen. Because certainly Doodle, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, all of them, they don't have our interest at heart. That's my opinion, but I'm pretty sure that most will agree. Anyway, I hope you all have a great day, and until next time, thanks.